Awaken Beauties, finally, it's here. The truth to empower women to true inner beauty through a healthy mind and inner biology. I am your hostess, Cassandra Keogh, a 20-year salon owner, organic beauty product formulator, positive mind management, and clinical hypnotherapist. And I am here to help you stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back. Sponsored by evoquebeauty.com. evoquebeauty.com. Now, let's get to it. All right, lovely. So tell me, the minute that you wake up in the morning, do you feel like you hit the ground running and you're in this stream of constant overwhelm and information overload? Or you go and try to start a new project or start something new and you forget it and you end up in self-sabotage and you end up scrapping it all together. Now, I think that you would agree, we all love efficiency in our life, especially when we're wanting to do something new. And that's why we're going to start out by understanding how we can better prime our mind. And so this skill is fundamental in every area of our lives and can be repeated and just continuing to get better and better in our mind and how we appropriate the information that we're about to learn. And it's called the FASTER method, and it's originated by Jim Kwik. So let's go ahead and jump in. So F is forget. And what we want to do is we want to start by temporarily forgetting everything that we know about the subject matter, because our ego wants to kind of pop in and say, oh, you know this already, or you don't need to learn this, or I know something about this subject, but do you really? And so we want to release the mind and open it up, because, you know, the mind is kind of like a parachute. It only works when it's fully open, right? So lastly, you want to especially forget the limitations of your mind, because the truth is powerful, and it's this: what we say we can or cannot do is completely self-fulfilling. So next is A for action. And most people are extremely passive while learning because that's what their educational model taught them. Now, so this old school education has entrained us to be very passive, such as sitting at a desk and not speaking up, let alone being brave to raise your hand and ask a question and quite possibly being incorrect. So our brain does not learn through consuming by creating. So I'm sure you've heard before that learning is not a spectator sport. I couldn't agree more, but that's often how we approach things that we want to learn. So in order to start active learning, we have to do things like taking notes or asking questions in the moment. And the more active you are, the better you will be able to learn. Now, S is for state. And state is the feeling or emotion, and emotion is that state. So information combined with emotion becomes a better long-term memory over time. So we all know the feeling, that instant surge of memory that comes from a particular smell or a song or a few notes of the song that we recollect that memory. So all learning is state dependent. And you are responsible for your state, the way you move, stand, sit while you're engaging with what you are learning. So what are these emotions? It could be curiosity, joy. You just don't want to be in a frustrated state. So consider your mood, your mind, and your body, and avoiding those dull states that come in when sitting and being lectured to. So, in fact, they say sitting is actually the new form of smoking, and standing and moving changes your physiology, which actually affects your psychology at the end of that state presence. So one powerful way to think about this is the foundation is a visual that represents the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. And a thermometer is a device that reacts to what the environment is giving it, where a thermostat actually sets the standard of the environment and raises it to that level. So no matter what state of life you're in, think like you are a thermostat. And one last thing. As a hypnotherapist, I know to my core that imagination and being curious and fascinated, just like children, and, it kind of creates this shortcut of the analytical mind. It allows us to open up the mind and be open to learning something new. So next is T for teach. And when you teach something, you get to learn it twice. And when I engage in content, I really want to approach it. And I want to approach it that I want to share and teach this content to someone else when I'm done learning it. And so simply put, if you are teaching, you will absorb the information much, much better. And we lose 80% of information we learn within 48 hours. So taking notes is one of the best ways to mitigate the loss of the information. So how do we teach what we learn? Now, there's many, many ways how we can teach what we learn. Writing out in our notes and preparation to share and teach it is one way, or sharing your notes with someone that's interested in learning what you've just learned. What we have to do is have clarity on our personal ha-has and create this energetic state of higher vibration and inspiration. So when we're writing out our notes, that whole brain is integrated into the very process. And the foundation of whole brain note-taking is really the key to really establishing the topic. And you want to write down on the left hand and right side. So the left is going to be what the topic is, and the right, you're going to explain more about it in detail. So in conclusion, when you're writing something out, you get to learn it twice. And when you learn with the outcome to teach it to someone, your own information is embodied even more to then go out and share with the world. Now, E is for entry. And what's the most precious thing that we all have? It is 100% time. And your time and the things that we value, we have to put into our actual calendar. So E stands for enter. And we want to enter our thought work or your ahas or action moments into an actual calendar. Now, R is for review. Now, overcome that supervillain of the forgetful curve by basically overcoming the fact that research says that 50% of knowledge is gone that very next day. So reviewing is the answer to this very thing, and it's called practicing active recall. Now, more often yourself, rather than reading the material, we want to be able to go back and review the material. And reviewing the information 1 hour, and then 1 week later, and then a few months later, and then a year longer consolidates long-term memory. So you've now embodied a limitless mindset and personalized and documented it. And that's it. It's those simple steps in that acronym, FASTER. And I owe a big thank you to Jim for this incredible acronym so that we can all prime our mind, so we can retain what we are about to learn and what matters to us most, so that we can go out and share it for the world and with the world for the better. So please go now and share any of these tips, and I'm quite sure that you won't forget the acronym FASTER. And let me know your key takeaways. But if you apply this acronym to anything that you're going to learn, even remembering a few of them will help you learn, retain, and open up your mind in a more expansive way and be actually able to bring in information more and then retain more of the information and create feedback loops so that it's all stored in your conscious, subconscious mind and have a whole brain thinking way about learning versus thinking that we know everything and that we don't need to learn anything or being overwhelmed and then self-sabotaging. All right. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this little mini session, and now put it to good use. Well, hello, Awaken Beauty. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Were you inspired? Please leave a comment or your own personal aha moment so others can capture exactly what you did. Also, please like and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're interested in high quality natural products for your hair, skin, and wellness, including organic CBD, please visit evokebeauty.com. Again, that is evokebeauty.com, EVOQbeauty.com. And until next time, darling, stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back.